What is up guys, it's your boy Daddy Furious. Welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna talk about world bosses, what even are they, how they work, and how we can maximize damage when we are attacking them. So as I'm sure you guys will know by now, world bosses, we have them on the map and also in our camp. In our camp, at first they are wild and then we can subdue them and then they become friendly. We can use them to our benefit, we can use their skills, we can donate to them to level them up and then enjoy the rewards and goodies from every single level. And as you level them up, their skill also becomes more enhanced and you can get more benefit out of them. So for example, 𝒟𝒹𝓎's skill is called Dragon's Horde, which if we use it, we can see it summons a bunch of boxes in our camp, and if we click on those boxes, we can get goodies like speed ups and even resources. And like I said, these boxes and the rewards get better as you donate to 𝒟𝒹𝓎 and upgrade his levels. Then for example, from 𝒟𝒹𝓎, we can receive gems and resources, even speed ups, every time we upgrade his level. We can get guild badges and resources from 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎, and we can use guild badges to upgrade technology related to guild versus guild events inside the field lab. And for example, from 𝒟𝒑𝓈, we can get 𝒟𝒻ium, and of course we use 𝒟𝒻ium to craft equipment. So this should be the first boss that we donate to and upgrade to the last level, because we want to get as many 𝒟𝒻ium as we can get in the early game, especially so we can craft some nice equipment, some legendary equipment for ourselves, and have a good head start in the early game. And you guys can subdue 𝒟𝒑𝓈 by playing your very first Sandstorm Scuffle. Of course, I also need to mention that you need to win your first game, otherwise it will drag onto the second game until you have enough feathers to subdue 𝒟𝒑𝓈. Now, that being said, let's go to the world boss, and this is different, right? This is a whole different mechanic, and these world bosses, now they're on the map, no longer in our base, in our camp, and on the map, we can attack them about only 5 times a day at these times. So at reset, 6, 12, and 18 server time, you guys can attack world bosses, right? And you only have 5 tries every single day, right? So you want to make sure to use the best out of these 5 attacks, because they affect your overall damage and how many rewards you can get based on your overall damage dealt towards the world boss. So as you guys can see, now it is the turn of 𝒟𝒑𝓈 to be the world boss every single day. These bosses change. So if today is 𝒟𝒑𝓈, tomorrow it can be 𝒟𝒑𝓎 or somebody else. These guys are on a rotation, right? So we know that 𝒟𝒑𝓈 is a fire nature world boss, right? So what counters fire? It is water. And because of that, we're going to want to use a squad consisted of 5 water Palmons, because in that case we can deal 50% more damage towards the world boss if you are using a type that counters another type. In this case, water counters fire. So once again, that's why for 𝒟𝒑𝓈 you're gonna want to use a squad consisted of 5 water Palmons to deal 50% more damage from every single Palmon in that squad. And this is how we can maximize your damage dealt to the world boss, and thus progress further into the achievement of world bosses and unlock the next tier rewards. I mean, the gems look kind of crazy, like 2000 gems towards the later levels, and that's a huge help if you are planning to upgrade your VIP or just do anything else with your gems or with your pallets. This is indeed a huge help, and you get eggs, you get speed ups, right? But the main reward here, it is gems, the huge amount of gems or pallets you get from world boss achievements. And then of course there are also another rewards like daily rewards for attacking and from being on a leaderboard. So for top 1, top 5, top 10, top 50, and top 100. Now for example, let's say it is day 2, it is tomorrow already, and we have 𝒟𝒹𝓎 as a world boss, right? And we want to defeat 𝒟𝒹𝓎 and deal as many damage as possible, right? So for 𝒟𝒹𝓎, who has a water type, a water nature, then we should attack him using Palmons with electric nature, because electricity counters water, you know, even in real life, that's how physics work. Then we have 𝒟𝒻, who is of electric nature, and we know in Palmon, earth nature Palmons, they counter electric, right? Then we have 𝒟𝒂𝓐, who is of earth nature, and we know that fire counters earth, just like in real life, right? I mean, it's all physics, you just have to memorize it. So let's say you forget about it, right? And you forget what type counters what. It's very easy to know that. You just go to idle lands, you go attack a level, right? And right there on top right corner, we can see the counter types. So it shows water counters fire, fire counters earth, earth counters electricity, and electricity counters water. As simple as that. And this logic applies to pretty much every attack and defense mechanic in the game. Nature types are unique and they all counter each other. Whether if you're attacking or being attacked, whether if you're attacking a world boss or a player, doesn't matter which game mode you're playing, nature type and their counter mechanism always are in play. So just make sure in the squad you're attacking with, you are using the right Palmons with the right nature types, and the rest should be good. Also, if in one squad you're using all the same type of Palmons, you will get 20% more attack bonus, and this applies after you capture the temple, after your server captures the temple, which is around day 24 after your server has been opened. Another way to maximize your damage is of course by upgrading the skills of your Palmons. Never forget to do these because they are very important, and usually you should focus on upgrading the skills that increase damage overall. Best if that damage is of AoE type and not singular, because in that case you can target multiple Palmons, multiple enemies at the same time. Next, don't forget to have your Palmons equipped with equipment and have those equipments upgraded to sufficient levels, and also don't forget to ascend your equipment, because for example by ascending legendary equipment, let's see at 2-star you get damage bonus versus water world boss. That's just an example, but in this case you see the damage says 10% damage bonus towards a water world boss, right? So you get lots of benefits from equipment as well. And who is a water world boss? Well, we talk about 𝒟𝒹𝓆𝓈, and also Inquisitor is of water nature as well. And for that, once again, against water type world bosses, we want to use Palmons with electric nature, and we want to have their legendary equipment ascended to level 2, so we can get 10% damage bonus against the water type world bosses. As simple as that, guys. Another ways to maximize damage is by owning a city team, which gives your Palmons attack and defense, or sometimes even health bonus. Next, you can go to Field Lab and research some technologies that give your Palmons and your squad overall stats. For example, work on techs that are related to your squad and to your Palmons. Next, your VIP level also plays a huge role in your passive buffs and also on your overall damage dealt towards any enemy. Doesn't matter if it's PvP or PvE, your VIP plays a huge role. And here we can see every single level, we can get higher and higher Palmon base stats. Lastly, I want to mention about attributes on your Palmons, because they also contribute to your Palmons overall stats. They give them defense, health, and attack bonuses, and they also play a huge role on your overall damage dealt or damage received, right? And you can get the best attributes by hatching eggs, right, pretty much, or by capturing Palmons on the map using a pal catcher, and if you're lucky enough, you will get some decent attributes on those Palmons, and then what you can do is you can breed them using the nursery building, and you can give those good attributes to your preferred Palmons. I also made a video about how breeding system works, so make sure you go and check it out. It's pretty simple, and I talked about all the tips and tricks you can use to have the most efficient breeding ever. And that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Daddy Furious, peacing out.